Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Six Cars. It's super early here in Los Angeles, just past 6 in the morning. We are up bright and early heading to Monterey Car Week. It's Monday, it's day one. I cannot wait to get on the road and see what is in store for us for the start of Car Week 2025. I know there's already been some stuff unloading and some stuff been driving around. I'm not gonna share what I've seen on Instagram so far. I'm all about surprises, and I think you guys are really gonna enjoy what we are going to find, because it's always a mystery and there's always going to be good stuff showing up. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe, because it's going to be a crazy week, guys. Let's hit the road and head it to Monterey. Well, there we go, guys. This is our first official, I guess, Carmel spot. Is this Alfa Romeo TZ3 Zagato. Extremely rare car, 1 of 9, and just a beautiful design. The interesting thing about this is it's pretty much all Dodge Viper underneath, even that massive V10 engine up at the front. That's why it's got such a long hood. But yeah, this obviously has the underpinnings of the Viper, but a super classy Italian design. I absolutely love the retro style wheels on it too. It's a great looking car, fantastic color too, with the blue on the brown. But take a look at the front here. We've got the shooting gallery up front here with Nate Dogg and Stefan. But there we go, beautiful looking car. Here's some more sounds out there as well. So cars are slowly but surely starting to roll in. But I would say this is a pretty damn good start, guys. 1 of 9 Alfa TZ3 Zagato. Here we go, our first Koenigsegg. Not bad, the Esco. And down the street from the Momo Diablo, we have this F12 Berlinetta. It's a very special one, obviously. Not too many of them finished in brown, but this is one of the 70 cars that Ferrari did build for their 70th anniversary. So there were 70 different cars. All of them were one-on-one. They've got the special 70th anniversary designation just in front of the rear wheel here. But obviously the exterior color is quite unique. But if you look inside, it has this almost suede plaid interior through the backs of the seats, as well as the center console, even in the back storage as well there with the leather straps. A very classy looking Ferrari F12. And just take a look at the back here. Man, oh man, the color just pops so well, and brown cars are so underrated too. That looks fantastic. There we go, there's our clean front shot. Well, we have a Chance, looks really good, sinister in the matte black. It also has those somewhat pop-up headlights. That's the only way you can do it legally these days, obviously, but does look so cool, and they do such a fantastic job with these cars. You can also see those aggressive, wait for it, there, the aggressive new roof intakes just over the engine bay. Just such a cool looking car, one of the best resto mods out there from Eccentrica. Here we go, people. Always check the side streets in Carmel when you come to Car Week, because you never know what you're going to find. Here is a very nice 959. Never seen this on the gunmetal gray wheels before. Against the red, it really pops. Just in immaculate condition too. One of the better looking 959s I've ever seen, to be honest. This silhouette, just all by its lonesome here in this random little parking lot, is fantastic. Great little find. And then right across the way here, check out this Ferrari 812, all the way from the Netherlands. So quite the journey this guy has made to come to Monterey Car Week. But like I said, the spec is pretty crazy. 2 different greens here with the body color and the stripes, the mirrors painted in that same, I guess sort of emerald or silverish green. But interestingly enough, down here at the front bumper, there is a lot of matte green carbon fiber. So a very unique and cool spec, and nice to see a Euro plated car over here as well. But yeah, good little parking lot, guys. So yes, we saw the 2 Ferraris off in the distance, and here we go. We have the F40 over here. Obviously, I will remind you guys again, the GOAT, my favorite Ferrari of all time, and I will fight that one to the grave if anyone disagrees with that. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, of course, but for me, the F40 will always be the best of the best when it comes to the prancing horse. So great to see another one of those. We also have this 599XX beside it. It is the Evo variant, so you get the full fixed GT wing at the back instead of just the usual winglets on the standard 599XX. And this particular car we actually did see back at Cavallino as well, the number 44. And here is the legend right here, or what I would say is probably the poster car for this whole auction, is the F40 LM. I already commented that the road-going F40 is the best Ferrari ever made. Well, this is by far the best Ferrari ever made, the LM version of the F40. You can already see just how much more extreme it is compared to the standard road-going version. I mean, look at the size of this front splitter. And obviously you ditch the pop-up headlights for the more traditional racing lights. Got that huge NACA duct right in the front. I've always loved the 5-spoke OZ racing wheels you get on the F40 LM as well. The full red seats with the saw belt harnesses. Obviously, you get that much bigger and more aggressive rear wing, the gurney flap at the back. It's just a ridiculously cool car, guys. I mean, not just the best Ferraris. This could be a competitor or top 5 best cars ever built. I mean, look at that, guys. How can you argue with that? This thing is just mind-blowing. Leaves me pretty much almost speechless. I mean, yes, I can ramble about cars for a very long time, as you guys already know, but just take this in. That is just such a special car to be able to see up close here at Monterey Car Week. And how is this for a 2-car solution? We got the Ferrari F50 in yellow. Only a handful ever finished in yellow, so awesome to see that. We also have the Singer 911, the DLS to be specific as well. So we saw the original modified Porsches up there with the roof CTRs. This is kind of like the spiritual successor, the Singer DLS. It's an incredibly extreme car. Obviously keeps that classic historical look, but everything else is very modern underneath. There's absolutely ballistic cars to drive. I love the wide body they do on these as well. And a big thing is the interiors on these Singers, because they pretty much go all out. It's a bit hard to see because it is quite dark in here, but they have a very good mix of retro and modern parts in the Singers. Love the duckbill at the back of the DLS as well. But man, oh man, such a cool car. That's probably going to fetch millions at the auction. And obviously, so is a yellow Ferrari F50. And it's cool they have got the top off as well. And I mean, I think if you're going to get a Ferrari F50, this is probably the color to do it. And I think it shows off the line so well and really just lets everybody know that this is one of the coolest Ferraris ever built. I know I've always been an F40 man myself, but that is just so damn cool to see an F50 in yellow. And then look at the back of the aisle here. We have the 300 SL. Looks like it's the competition spec here. Man, oh man, that's very, very cool. Just almost like a satin flat red finish to the paint with the matching red wheels. Of course, flexing it with those iconic gull-wing doors open. That is super cool. We've got a nice E-Type here as well. The convertible with the hardtop, which is pretty rare, honestly. You almost always just see them with soft top versions, so that's kind of cool. And beside that, we have a McLaren Speedtail, by far one of the most interesting cars in modern times. Obviously, as you guys can see from the front angle there, very famous for that center seat position that was made very well known by the McLaren F1. With the Speedtail, obviously it was dubbed, marketed as McLaren from a Hyper GT standpoint, because it's super streamlined and it's supposed to be very, very comfortable to take on long road trips, but you can also just casually hit 350 kilometers an hour at the same time. And one of the big things here, it's got the aero discs on it for the aerodynamics for those top speed runs. I love the massive roof snorkel on this car as well. You can get a slightly better look there at that very interesting and unique center seat position. It does have the cameras instead of side mirrors on this car, which unfortunately didn't make it very legal in North America because of the regulations over here, but there is a will and a way to being able to drive anything. And I mean, look at how big the car is too. I have to walk back quite a ways to get the whole thing in the frame. It is so long. I mean, you want to talk about long tail McLarens, it doesn't get much bigger than this. That is just massive at the back. A really cool an interesting car. And just to wrap it up, I know we saw this in the background when we first walked into the garage, so I'd be crazy not to show it off. 2 Carrera GTs and a very good looking 996 GT3 in the middle there as well. These are the 2 cars we did see at the period correct meet, but always good to see them again. I didn't really point out the color on this Carrera GT before. The signal yellow, I don't know if this is a 1 of 1 or not. If there's more than one, there can only possibly be just a few. It's such a cool looking color, almost like a dark, like mustard kind of color, but so lovely to see that. Obviously love the red and the 996 GT3 as well, and the black one with the aftermarket 5-spoke wheels with those carbon fiber drums as well. It's just such a sick lineup here. Wait. Boom. Last minute Zonda F Roadster spot. Okay, so we have found some cars this morning. We have the Vanquish Zagato Volante finished in orange, pretty radical color, and I think honestly probably the Volante is the best variation of this. You can get this in the coupe, the convertible, or the shooting brake. The shooting brake, as cool as it is, I think it does look best in this open top form with all of the different Zagato details exposed. I think this is probably the best version of it. I just love the carbon fiber humpbacks as well behind the headrest, and then inside does have all of the Zagato Zeds finished in orange stitching too, so that is quite cool to see that. And of course over there is the Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus. Take a look at that in a second, but there is the front of the Vanquish Zagato Volante Roadster. Bit of a mouthful, but a very cool little car here. And there is the Chiron Super Sport 300 Plus with that iconic black and orange livery that is obviously quite famous from the Veyron, and cool to see that they replicate that with the Chiron Super Sport as it is moving. I think they are going to be putting it back onto the truck very shortly, as the Vanquish Zagato has also started up. What a cool looking car. There we go, complete and utter chaos, guys. Look at this. The matching specs, McLaren F1 and McLaren P1, the Enzo, the Wyra 2675 LTs, and the crowds are absolutely next level. Definitely one of the wildest scenes we've seen at the Polo Fields in a long time, and it looks like we've just arrived at the perfect time, because it does look like they will be driving away very soon as everyone is jumping into their respective rides. But how about that? The GOAT, the greatest car ever built beside its success over there in the same color. That is just incredibly special, and it's no wonder why there are so many people crowding around that. That is, wow, what a sight, people. That is crazy. It's not very often you can see a Wyra and an Enzo getting absolutely no attention, but let's see these things roll out right now. And there we go, there's yesterday's La Ferrari out in the daylight. That is absolutely lovely. And here's one of the coolest modern car silhouettes, the McLaren Speedtail. And I can kind of see the color a bit now that's in the light. It's got a bit of like a purpley gray to it. What a wild looking car that is. Oh, surprise CGT arrival there. Very nice. And there goes the Speedtail. We had the LaFerrari Coupe before, and there is the Aperta, black with the red accents. Man, oh man. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. If one wasn't good enough already today, we do have a second McLaren F1. This one's rolling up to RM Sotheby's on the back of an open top flatbed. Man, that takes some guts to have that rolling around like this. That is a nerve-wracking job. Shouts out to the truck drivers, man. That is crazy.
So I don't believe it. Once you see it on like YouTube stories and different angles.
Look at that. Oh my goodness. Valor, ST, and 911R. Here's the situation, ladies and gentlemen, on 17 Mile. This was the busiest you were ever going to see it. There are hypercars here, but good luck trying to get a clear view of them. We did see the 4GT and the Carrera GT previously. Thank goodness for that, because we are not going to get up close to them now. But there is a new Utopia there on aftermarket wheels, which is kind of cool. White and the carbon fiber two-tone. There's a yellow and black stripe on Pure Sports. You can see the white and red Yesco back there. Yeah, tons and tons of stuff. But yeah, I don't think we're going to get a very clear look at most of the cars, because there are thousands and thousands of people here. It's absolutely wild. But yeah, at least we can see the Utopia. That is one thing we can get up close to. I do kind of like the wheels. They do suit the car with the Tiffany blue brakes. That's not too shabby, actually, but this is an absolute fest. Zenvo Aurora. Interesting. Excuse the dirty windshield, people. Look at the crowd of spotters for road legal Sesto Elemento. There we go, guys. Car week is officially over. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is the 1 of 10 Sesto Elemento, and it is road legal. Look at how many people are here. This is just unbelievable. It's only Tuesday, guys. I don't even know if we can get up close to this thing because of the crowds, and traffic is just completely stopped. So I would imagine that police might come and tell people to leave eventually, but just crazy to see this thing parked on the street. I hope we get to see it again at some point throughout the week, so we can actually get an up close look to it. But yeah, there we go, guys. Sesto Elemento. Hold on, guys. One last spot after the Sesto Elemento. Look at that SSC Tuatara rolling through. Okay, guys, we dropped off the ACR. We're back in Monterey, and there we go, Stratman's Agera, which we saw like a taillight of last night at that ridiculous 17 Mile meet, where there were so many people we couldn't get up close to it. But there you go. It's the original Agera HH. It's a great spec. The blue with the yellow brakes, fantastic. Obviously, the carbon fiber wheels. A great looking car and a great start to Wednesday, the official start to Wednesday in Monterey. There we go, guys. Back with the De Tomaso P72 that we saw back in Connecticut. Like I said, probably the most beautiful car on the market today, and we just caught it getting a little bit of a fuel up stop, so you can get another look at it. Just so many cool little details. The lines of the car, absolutely beautiful, and this is the final production variant. Just such a gorgeous looking car. If you guys didn't see the Connecticut video or the past car week videos, just all the little details on the interior, just incredible. That is so nice. And there's Strad rolling in with the Agera HH behind it as well. So back up here, you can get the whole car in the frame and just see the lines of the P72. Just so striking. Great little find here at the gas station. And there goes the Agera. Just car week things, ladies and gentlemen. That is awesome. Oh. And there we go, guys. We got an SF90XX as well. Same parking lot as the Agera started in, just across the street from the gas station. But man, oh man, we've just been back in Monterey for about 15 minutes after dropping off the ACR, and already some pretty heavy hitters here. So guys, I think this day is going to be absolutely crazy. But yes, we did see a couple SF90XXs back in the OC. Some interesting specs. Nice to see they're all different from one another too. And I did mention I like all of the additions they've made to the standard SF90, the fixed GT wing and all the extra aero bits. It's a pretty good looking car. Nice to see them out and about. So here is a lineup for us, ladies and gentlemen. P1 HDK, P1 Spider, Elva, and the Sesto Elemento. So and obviously the theme of this car week so far has been really big crowds, and it's no different here. So a crazy quartet of hypercars here, and obviously P1 Spider is quite special. This is a very new build, and yeah, I think it's Lanzante that is doing these. So obviously you can chop the top off and convert your standard P1 into a roofless Spider. Just absolutely so sick. And it has the Golf livery too, which is very cool because it matches the Elva, but it's also quite similar to the Golf P1 we had back in Toronto, which is now actually here in California. And the good thing with the Elva too, no windshield. Do not order this car with a windshield. It just kind of takes away the essence of the whole vehicle, in my opinion. If you're going for that open top speedster look, it just cannot have the windshield. You got to rock the helmet when you're driving it. And over here is the Sesto Elemento that we saw last night. Of course, completely swarmed by people, and now we can actually see it in the daylight, finally. Full carbon fiber body. There's only just a small handful of them. I think there's far less cars than they intended to build in the beginning, but looks like they're doing a lot at the back there, so I guess working on the car. And yeah, there we go. I did mention earlier how the whole back end is off, so it looks like they're doing a lot of work on the car. So the V10 is completely exposed, and yeah, one of the coolest things with the Sesto is just how the transmission is just fully exposed at the back, even when the bumper is on. But really cool to see the Sesto on its own, but to actually see it with the back off and see the engine, something that not many people will get the chance to see. And of course, it is plated. So yeah, take your pick, guys. Do you like the Sesto Elemento, the Elva, the P1 Spider, or the P1 HDK? And if you guys can actually see through the interior, I didn't show this before, but no dashboard, which is awesome. You got all the forged carbon fiber through there, and just basically the steering wheel, your seats, and your harnesses up front. A lot of red Alcantara up there as well. But yeah, you can clearly see how this inspired the design of the Huracan too. So that is quite interesting. I love the little aggressive side mirrors at the side too. Very like fighter jet look to it, but easily one of the coolest cars that's ever graced Monterey Car Week. LT P1 Wyra, and wait for the rest. There we go, guys. Finally, a good little find here at Spanish Bay. It's been kind of slow so far this week, but there we go. 2 Chiron Super Sports, and kind of take your pick, like the white or the black with the blue stripes. Not bad. Stopping off at the Broad Arrow auction. This is one of the newer auctions at Monterey Car Week, but it always seems to have some heavy hitters. I mean, look at that grid at the entrance. Black and blue Veyron 16.4, absolute classic. And flipping around here, check that out. We got the DBS GT Zagato, the Centenary Edition. So I think it is obviously Centenary for the 100th anniversary of either Aston Martin or Zagato. I'm actually not sure which one, to be honest, but either way, any Zagato car is just beautifully done. And I absolutely love their rear taillight designs as well. It's really interesting too. The entire back of this car is all carbon fiber. There is no rear window. It's just a camera to see out of. So that is quite interesting. You also have an original Zagato over there too in matching specs, so that is very nice to see. And this is really cool right here. We have seen a few 722 SLRs on the channel before, but this is the 722S, so it is a roadster, and obviously a very unique spec in orange. I have never seen an SLR coupe, roadster, or just any version of it in orange, let alone the special edition 722S, the famed tribute to the Mille Miglia race cars from the 50s. So really cool, and I think it looks fantastic in orange as well. Another interesting little detail, look at that, matching orange seat belts. I believe there's only 150 of the 722Ss, so that is quite nice to see that. And for my fellow JDM lovers, a beautiful GTR R34 V-Spec there in black, and does look like, from what I saw at the front, it appears to have a lot of parts from the Nismo Amori factory. So yeah, there we go. It's an extremely well-built engine, obviously straight from the heart of Nismo. I can only imagine this would fetch a ton of money. It's got the Z-Tune fenders at the front as well. And beside that gold ACI, I'd be crazy not to point this out, an NE1 NSX Type R. Great to see some JDM content here at Monterey Car Week, but this is a pretty rare spec. I think obviously the most famous combination with this is the championship white on white with the red seats, but it's nice to see a black one. It is a genuine NSX Type R right-hand drive straight from Japan, and this is another car that's just going up and up in value almost every day, it seems. So it'll be interesting to see how much this one fetches at auction, but a lovely car. And as you guys can see, the aisle just keeps going and going with interesting cars. We have the Super America there. We have an SLS Black Series in white. Man, oh man, it's tough to pick between the yellow one we saw the other day and the white one. These are the two ideal specs for me on this car, but you can't go wrong either way. That is just such a beautiful car. I absolutely love the SLS Black Series. And then over here, check this out, a beautiful Diablo SV. And what's interesting about this one is it is a Monterey edition. So if you have a look inside, in the headrest there, you have the Monterey edition designation, the yellow stitching and the yellow accents. And it's fitting, being in Monterey, that this car is here. It's got the big SV sticker on the side, which is an absolute must for me on this car. But if I can get the whole thing in the frame here, man, oh man, that is easily one of my favorite Lamborghinis of all time. It's really hard to top that. And some serious heavy hitters towards the back here. Look at this, the Essenza SCV12, the track-only Lamborghini hypercar. By far one of their wildest cars they have ever built. I mean, it has the essence sort of a Le Mans prototype, but kind of almost blends like a classic GT1 race car styling as well. There's so much aero on it, and interestingly enough, these side mirrors, which are finished in a really cool dark red, kind of remind me of the Sesto Elemento that we saw earlier in the day. And obviously interior wise, it's extremely bare bones and almost sort of has a bit of a fighter jet vibe to it. The rear wing looks so cool too. It hangs so high over the rest of the car. It's also finished in that nice dark red carbon fiber as well. Just a fantastic looking car, and it doesn't even stop there. I mean, behind that, look at this, we have the Koenigsegg CCXR, one of the most extreme cars that this brand has ever built. And I think as far as Koenigsegg design goes, I know the Escos and the Agueras are probably a lot crazier looking, but I think this is one of the cleanest cars they have ever built. Here we go, possibly the coolest car here at Motorlux is the Porsche 963 RSP. So this is, if you guys followed the news from the 24 Hours of Le Mans this year, the only road-going Porsche 963 in the world, built specifically for Roger Penske. Obviously a huge name in motorsport and the current owner of the Porsche factory racing teams with the 963. And it's crazy to think that they actually went ahead and built a road legal version of this car. Of course, they took the pictures on the road in France too. It looked absolutely incredible. My favorite part about this car too is if you look at the interior, quick zoom, there is a single cup holder in there. So it's only a one-seater, no passengers in the car, but the cup holder is such a funny and cool detail. But other than that, it's literally just the 963 Le Mans race car. Yeah, it's just wow. That's all I could say. I was not expecting this to even be here in the first place, so the fact that we get to see it up close is quite special. And yeah, there is the back of the road going 963. Just hilarious to see a license plate on this car. To think that you could actually drive this on the road is pretty nuts. That's all I can say. I love the rear design of the 963 too, the wing with the shark fin. It's just so nice. Wow, yeah, absolutely incredible, guys. And take a look at the Mustang GTD here. We did see the first one on the road that I can possibly think of when we saw Jay Leno back this past weekend in Malibu. But look at the color at this one, guys. Finished in like almost a ruby star pink, I would say. Very similar to the Porsche PTS color. And I gotta say, you know, for a car that's competing with a GT3 RS, it's kind of cool to see it in one of its main competitors' colors, which I think actually suits this car very well. And there's a look at the back of the GTD, and I just especially love how wild the rear wing is, how it just sort of sticks out right from the edges of that rear window, just like the GT3 race car. Man, oh man, it is fantastic to start seeing these in the light and different colors. I cannot wait to see more on the road too. Just such a great looking car. Well, there we go, back at the same gas station we started off Wednesday at. Here we have another hypercar lineup, but we've got the color shift Revuelto. That's kind of interesting. But the Agera RS over here, again, the world record car. Man, there's a loud motorcycle back there. We have the world record car here, a Gera RS, finished in that nice dark red with the carbon fiber two-tone, the silver accents, very good. We've got the 918 back there, and we do have a Regera towards the back. So, yeah, this is, you know what? Not a bad color, actually, on the Revuelto. Usually at Car Week, it's hard to stop for Revueltos because there's so much going on, but one that's finished in a nice color shift is quite interesting to see. There is the 918 back there with the windmill wheels, and looking quite good in white. And here we also have the Regera white with the blue carbon fiber accents. Not a bad spec, not a bad lineup at the gas station to start off our Thursday, guys. But behind that, the Diablo SV. I think maybe my favorite Lamborghini of all time. It's tossed up between that and the Mercy SV, but that is the ideal spec as well. Yellow with the big SV sticker. It's so period correct. Remember, reminiscent of the old Need for Speed games too. So man, oh man, that's so cool to see. Such a Car Week car. So you have a nice matte black wire roadster with, I guess you could call it a liquid carbon fiber accents on the flaps and the front splitter here on a white interior, which does contrast quite nicely. But beside that, we do have the Valkyrie Spider that we did find at Motorlux last night, as I mentioned, under the bag. But now it is out in the daylight, and that is just wild looking, guys. Covered in all these tiny little crystals. The whole car is bedazzled. That's the best way I can put it. That might be our word for Car Week, is bedazzled, because this is probably the only Valkyrie Spider driving around Monterey at the moment. And like I mentioned last time, we have not seen a Valkyrie Spider on the channel before, so this one is a first for us, so that is always good to see. But yes, every single inch of this car is covered in these little jewels or diamonds, whatever you'd like to refer to them as. It's quite a head turner. And beside that crystal covered Valkyrie Spider, we do have that nice Jesko Absolute. We've got more stuff rolling in here. We have the Gunther Works Speedster behind us. I see the Jesko F50. I see a Chiron Pure Sports. It's really even hard to know where to look here, guys. There's so much going on. Behind us, we can also see a yellow Hennessy Venom F5. I point out the two Zingers over there as well. So we'll see if we can get through the crowds and take a look at them. But let's see what's rolling in first. There's another Zinger 21C, the VMAX, green carbon fiber. Now you can see the seating position. The passenger's sitting behind the driver, but beside that, we also have the Gumpert Apollo and a 1 of 20 Lamborghini Reventon. So that was a bit of a surprise. Nice to see that. Haven't seen one yet at this Monterey Car Week, because that is a first for Monterey Car Week 2025. And then yeah, there's the Apollo S we've seen a couple times now. Yeah, it just keeps coming, guys. It's hard to even know where to look at this point. There's the Zingers, guys. So it's sort of like a dark yellow and a highlighter yellow, but now you can see the difference between the one with the big wing, the standard one I would call it, and the streamlined one, which is used for the top speed. I believe it's called the VMAX. So yeah, cool to see the two Zingers together. There are some other cars back here as well. So we got a GTR Pro 765 LT. We have some Aventadors. We do have that Utopia over there as well that we saw back on 17 Mile at that very crowded hypercar meet. So good to see that one again. And we also have Fred's Road Legal 935 over here, which we did see back at Moda, but it's really cool to see it out in the flesh actually driving, because as I mentioned, it has been converted to being a road legal car by Lanzante. So this is in its natural element. I absolutely love the livery too. Matches all of his other hypercars as well, but I love how he's also color matched the turbo fans on the wheels too. That is a crazy looking car to see on the road. Now that's a very great rare find right there, the COK DTM. First for this Monterey car. We love the wide body on that, obviously reminiscent of the DTM race cars. So cool. Absolutely wild, guys. There's just hypercars as far as the eye can see. Nice of the police actually to stop the traffic and let these guys out as well, but it's just never ending here. There's got to be hundreds of millions of dollars worth of cars just in this one parking lot. have wrapped up that crazy hypercar tour and the Pebble Beach Tour d'Elegance, straight to Carmel for a bit of spotting. And look at this, all in its lonesome. I said earlier in the week, you got to check every side road in Carmel, leave no stone unturned, because look at that. We found a Aston Martin 177, easily one of the coolest Aston Martins ever built, maybe the best one ever, actually. It's a beautiful design, obviously. Got that big, unique V12, and I'll take you around to the back, actually. One of my favorite parts in this car is you can actually see the rear suspension right through the rear window. A lot of reflections on there, but yeah, it's really cool to see the struts and the shocks there. Such a beautiful looking car, and all in its lonesome. One of the only cars we've seen this week that has not been swarmed by people. And again, just around the corner from the 177, look at this Carrera GT, guys. It's that's a pretty bold livery, if I may say so myself. There's a lot going on with that. I'm not really sure what they're going for with the design, but it's clearly not like the other Carrera GTs that we have seen this week. So I don't know, guys. You like the livery? Don't like it? Let me know in the comments. So there's a bit of a show going on today on Ocean Avenue. Some interesting cars, but this one is by far the coolest. We've got the Formula Drift Ferrari 599. So yeah, probably the most sacrilegious Ferrari out there, but hey man, this is just unbelievable and really cool to see that someone actually went all out and made a drift car out of a 599. It's got to be one of the best sounding drift cars on the planet too, with that big huge V12. But look at how the wide body is completely cut up the car, completely changed the look of it. It's got that massive rear wing hanging off of the back of it too, which is probably the most extreme angle for this car. I mean, have a look at that. Yeah, so cool. The fact that this drifts against the likes of like Nissan 240 SXs and the likes of those. But man, that is so crazy looking. We've got a Ferrari 550 over here too, with like one of the old GTS or GT1 kits on it, finished in green. That is very good looking. Can you imagine? It sounds fantastic too. And this one is a Ferrari 308 with the GT2 body kit on it. So kind of similar looking to a 288 GTO, but obviously built for racing, just like that 550 with the GTS kit over there. Yeah, really cool little trio of Ferraris. Not expecting to see these here today. There, gas stop in Carmel. We've got a Mercy SV pulling in. Finally, we get one this year. Holy moly. Now that is a good Lamborghini. I was just mentioning, hard to tell if the Diablo or the Mercy SV is my favorite. Well, we've seen both now. I don't know, guys. Might give the slight edge to the Mercy. That is beautiful. Okay, so we came back to where we started this morning because we did get word that this Valkyrie Spider has returned, and there is the Carrera GT that we saw earlier. Apparently all that design on it is actually all paint. They painted over PPF, but hey, that's still pretty bold to do that. I did want to show you guys the back of the Valkyrie Spider though, because we didn't get to see that earlier with the crowds, but now you can see it in the sun. And just as I move the camera around, you can see all of the jewels and crystals just sort of shining and glimmering in the light. Even the small details right down to the plate frame has the same kind of design on it. Obviously still driving with the top off of the Valkyrie Spider, as you should on a nice sunny day like this. But just take a look at that, guys. That is incredibly bold to do this on any car, let alone a multi-million-dollar Aston Martin Valkyrie Spider. And I can just move this camera around for it all day, showing you guys how it glimmers in the light. It's such a crazy looking car. And somehow we found ourselves back at the Starbucks again, because there we go, check it out. We have two of the 50 Maserati MC12s in the world parked side by side here. That is pretty damn cool. And most interesting part, they're both running with the roofs off. So kind of rare, actually. I don't ever see people take the roofs off half the time, so it's nice to see them with the tops off. And they are, of course, obviously in that iconic white and blue livery that pretty much every MC12 is in. So iconic with this car. And yeah, very special to see these two parked together, obviously. Brought to you by Merit Partners. Thank you very much for bringing these out. Always good to see MC12s. So how about that, guys? We stopped into Starbucks for a second to grab a coffee, and a silver F50 has showed up. And this is not just a regular silver F50. Just check. Whoa. My goodness. They're interrupted by a couple revs from the DDE Rev Welter over there. But look at the seat inserts on the F50 in yellow. Never seen that before. This car was actually in Japan for a very long time, and now it has made its way over to the US. So that is awesome to see that. Only a handful of silver ones too. There we go, a bit early, but the new Bugatti Boyard, one based off of, I believe it's like the founder's original horse. That's sort of what is inspired it. Like the humps at the back are supposed to be the lines of a horse. It's finished in this beautiful like satin green over green carbon fiber two-tone. It's even got these like intakes over the top. And what's interesting about this one is it is a W16, which I thought was going to be finished with the Chiron, but apparently they have decided to make one more. So yeah, there is the back of it. You can really get a good look at the intakes over the back of the W16 as well, and you can see the rear carbon fiber section there finished in green, just that over that rear diffuser. It has the double stacked exhaust, sort of like the Chiron Super Sport as well, and this is a great angle that you can see like the humpbacks I was mentioning, that's reminiscent of the shape of a horse, which is so cool. They've incorporated that. It also has those like X-wing sort of lights like the Mistral, which is obviously a very nice looking design cue. I can't say enough good things about this car though. There is just so many good lines to look at. The green looks fantastic as well, the satin green against the dark green carbon fiber. Just a beautiful, beautiful looking car. And this is from a new program. I think it's called the Solitaire program, where they will be doing a lot of these one-offs, and they'll all be inspired by, I guess, pieces of Bugatti's history. So just really awesome that Bugatti is doing this. And this is the first car from that Solitaire program. So it's awesome that we get to see this up close and personal on its debut here at the Quail. There's a ton of F50s here as well. It's a big anniversary, obviously. It's under a bag right now, but that is the one of three, I believe, F50 GT. So basically a GT1 version of the F50, which is incredibly extreme. And hopefully we'll see that without the bag on it. But look at that. We've got different colors here, black, red, and yellow. I think there is, well, there's definitely more than one of the black F50 here at the Quail this year. I think there's 4 in total produced, so I can see at least 2. There's one and there's a second one back there, so there's at least 50%. There's a yellow one over there as well, so that's number 2, and obviously a ton of red ones. And obviously some of them are a bit different. We can see the hard tops. There's one soft top over there, another one actually, but there is a few different variations of them, so that's cool to see. But I don't know if you guys will ever find a bigger collection of F50s in one place than we have right here. I mean, there's at least a dozen from what I can count. Maybe you guys can do the counting for me or help out, but there's quite a few. That's all I could say. So incredible display here, and a massive tribute to the legendary F50. And maybe you guys can let me know which one is your favorite color too, the black, the red, or the yellow, because all of them look so good. But to each their own. Let me know down in the comments which one you guys like best. And there is an F40 rolling in, yellow SP3 over there as well. So a great little display here of Ferraris. Oh, there's a Toyota 2000 GT that doesn't have a cover on it. Obviously, I guess the first JDM supercar. Great to see that over here in the US. Just a beautiful looking design. It's obviously inspired so many iconic car designs after that, and they are worth a ton of money now, like well over $1 million, I would say. So easily probably the most significant Toyota road car of all time, I would have to say. Yes, even over the Mark IV Super. The 2000 GT is incredibly special, and it's finished in a really nice red. I think most of them are generally in white, so it's always good to see one in a different color. Yeah, there's the new Koenigsegg Sedair Spear based off the Esco. It's pretty cool. And a CC850 with her, oh no, sorry, a Camaro, the roof box, my mistake. That's really cool. Damn. And there is another colored F50. Now we have a quartet of different colors. So the red, black, and yellow. And there is the silver one rolling in. Little zoom. There we go. Completing the F50 display. That is so cool. Look at that. We have a silver Enzo rolling in too. How about that? Another little zoom. Man, oh man, that is nice. Great Ferrari display. First spot of Friday, the Pininfarina Battista. Guys, what is that? What is that? That's all I can say. Wide body SLR. All right, guys, so the covers are finally off here. The cars outside of the Miller House. One of the wildest lineups from Monterey Car Week 2025. I'm glad I can finally bring it to you guys. So starting off the lineup is the Pagani Huayra R, the track-only variant of the Huayra, of course. Now, I don't think this will be driving. It is a track-only car. That being said, we have seen a road legal Sesto Elemento at this year's Car Week, so wouldn't be the wildest thing in the world, but I think they are just going to be leaving this parked for now. But really cool still to see it sitting on the side of a public road. It's a nice spec too. This sort of, I would say, like gloss or balloon white with the red accents on the carbon fiber trim around every single edge of the car. It's absolutely lovely. And I'm just going to shift around to the side for now because the streets are all of a sudden very busy with cars, but we do have another Huayra behind that blue carbon fiber with the standard gray carbon fiber exposed accents, and I believe this might be the one that has the US flag on the side mirror, and then it does have the Italian flag on the passenger side here. But great looking car. Does have the Tempesta package as well with that carbon fiber front splitter, and behind that is the Zonda S, so the roadster version of the standard Zonda C12. Saw it driving briefly a couple of days ago, but now we can see it out in the daylight, actually sitting still for a change. You guys can see all of these small little details around this car. This is a new one for us, actually. It is right-hand drive, former UK car, so very cool to see that over here in the US. There, just down the street from the Miller House, green SLS Black Series. Obviously a one of one. Check out the front lip down here, finished in green carbon fiber, the hood intake as well. Oh, look at that, another German special car, the Audi RS2. That is sweet. I think they developed that with Porsche, actually, and it's on German plates. But yeah, back to this, the green SLS Black Series. I've never seen before, and like I pointed out already, green carbon fiber, even the side mirrors. We're always getting the interior shots, so I'll show you guys in a second. But there's a couple other 560 SECs, I believe, here in green and like gold. Very good looking. But I will show you guys the interior in a second here. Yeah, so if you actually look inside, it has brown Alcantara, green seat belts, green stitching, and green carbon fiber in the center console. It's a bit hard to see, I know, with the reflections, but this is obviously a bespoke one of one. Look at that. Even the rear wing on this SLS Black Series finished in green carbon fiber. That is a fantastic spot. Here you go, guys. I told you, Carmel is popping off on a variety. We got another SP3. This one finished in like a, almost want to call it like a burnt or dark orange. Looks very, very nice. 77 on the side. I guess obviously some significance to the owner, but the color is the real selling point with this one. It has blue seats too, which is obviously quite lovely. It's a really good looking spec. You actually did not see one in this color before. We've got a lot of SP3s here on the Six Cars channel, but this one really might take the cake for the most unique spec. Vector. RS and the F50. And here's a lineup of Koenigseggs for you guys. Here we go, some interesting ones. Here is the custom chop top 599. That's very interesting. And look at this lineup here. I think most of the Hypercars have left the show. It's a nice Turbo 50 there in gold, but oh, wait a minute. Damn, that's a cool shot. I spoke too soon. But the reason I came back over here is because the orange P1 GT we saw drive by earlier is coming back and stuck in traffic, so we can actually get a good look at just how crazy this thing looks in traffic on the road. Man, oh man. So it is the P1 GT, so it has the long tail at the back with that massive rear wing, paying homage to the F1 GT, and it looks so damn good. Clear, no hands, let's go. All right, hopefully we don't get blocked here because I think there's something big coming at the Sedir's Saber, the new Koenigsegg. There we go. And there we go, a new one for us, the T50. Here we go, guys. I didn't even have a chance to do my intro yet because we've already got Hypercars. The Chiron, the Agera RS Valhalla, and the Murcielago LP640. So sweet. So I was not joking, guys. There's already a ton of Hypercars here to start off our morning. We've seen the white and red Jesko many times before, but definitely have not seen this before. This is the Koenigsegg CC, the original Koenigsegg prototype. That's why it seems a little bit more bare bones than some of the other Hypercars we see here. But this is the origin story right here, ladies and gentlemen, of the famous Koenigsegg brand. So obviously an incredibly important car, and just amazing that we actually get to see this, let alone have it driving on the road. It's incredibly special, but you can obviously see just how much the front end has changed. I do like how the Koenigsegg badge is actually right on the front bumper of this car. Small little detail, but have a look inside here with the dihedral doors open. This one is a manual too. I believe this one actually has a Ford V8, was the original prototype before they started making their own components for the combustion engine. But inside, as you can see, there's no screens, absolutely nothing. You have a gear shifter, a steering wheel, and your gauge. That's pretty much it. But still has the carbon fiber bucket seats, which is nice to see. And we step around to the back, and obviously that is a bit different looking. You can obviously see where they've taken the styling cues for the production cars, but it is obviously different from the likes of the Agera RS, but really cool to see that. And of course we do have the blue carbon Agera RS with the gold accents. This is probably one of my personal favorites here amongst the Koenigsegg. I think all of the gold accents just blend so well with the blue carbon fiber, and it's very similar to some of the other ones we've seen where the gold leaf stretches all the way through the wing to the front of the car as well, just down the side there too with the Agera RS badge. But yeah, let's keep walking and see what else we can see. Here obviously lots of crowds, but I will do my best to get through it for you guys. This is the new Jesko, codenamed the Sedir's Spear. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. We saw it driving earlier, but now you can actually get up close to it. The color on this car is beautiful. It's a really dark brown. It kind of reminds me of some of the colors you see on the Veyron Rembrandt edition, and lots of white accents around. I do like the all-white Koenigsegg badge as well. There are some changes to the aero as well. There is a bit of a different wing on the Attack Jesko here, but the seats are a bit different as well, if you can sort of see through the glare here, but it does look really, really good. And the wing, like I said, just a tiny bit more aggressive than the standard Jesko Attack. I think the end plates are just a bit bigger, but yeah, I think they've changed a little bit with the rear diffuser as well. But that is their newest version of the Jesko, the Sedir's Spear. So cool to see that. Is also a white CC850 there that is getting absolutely mobbed because Christian von Koenigsegg is over there showing off the car. So obviously drawing a ton of attention, but this car is quite special because it has well, it's a bit of a tribute to the original CC8S production car. But if you look in the center there, that gearbox is really special because this is the car that you can change between automatic and manual on the fly. The technology in this is wild, and it's also kind of cool to see how the interiors have changed from that original prototype that we just saw as well. But I do love how this is sort of like Koenigsegg's own resto mod to the original CC8S. So we've got a red Regera over here, which I think again is a new one for us. But man, oh man, this Hennessy Venom F5 Roadster is so loud. The idle, man, you can hardly even hear somebody talking beside you. This is such a crazy car. Very nice and green as well. We've got a Senna 4GT Chiron Super Sport as well. I believe that is a Rimac Nevera down there too, which we have not seen yet at this car week. But what a crazy start to the day here, guys. Non-stop Hypercars. guys, the CC prototype. Here we go, the white P1. Oh, this is getting wild, guys. There are a ton of cars. Holy moly. We have a new Zinger 21C here, too. This is getting absolutely wild, guys. We have an MC12 rolling by now. And P1 HDK coming right at us. There we go, guys. The 6-car special. One of my all-time favorites, the LFA. Always good to see that. I mean, just look at that, guys. That never gets old. Perfect silhouette. And obviously that V10 and the exhaust is what it's famed for. But that is just a beautiful car, guys. I'll never ever get tired of that. And hold up, we do have the MC12 coming back, round 2, back up the PCH. We have a brand new Touring Superleggera Berchetta. Still has a cover on the front, so, and yeah, no plate on it, so that's got to be like an early prototype. So that's a interesting little find here, obviously based off of 550 or a 575. Looks really good though, guys. There we go, guys. Another LFA. Been trying to find this one for the past few days now. As I've mentioned many times, this is one of my all-time favorites. And I think we've seen a dark red LFA on the channel before, but this is a bit lighter. It's almost like a Ferrari red. So this is quite a unique spec on this car. And if we are at the famed Chevron, where we've seen a lot of cars during this Monterey car weekend, it just looks so cool at the fill-up station here. Man, oh man, one of the all-time greats. So there we go. It's like a dark gray on one side, yellow on the other side, and obviously you could see the Ferrari text right down the middle. And it's interesting how the yellow blends into the gray with that text, but it's a very nice livery, as I mentioned before. But yes, this is going to be auctioned off, like I said, which is probably going to add to the value of it, of course, being a one-of-one, tailor-made, only being built once. A big Ferrari collector is going to pay a lot of money for this, so it should be quite interesting to see how much this fetches at the auction tonight. Spectator parking at RM before the big auction tonight. There we go. We've got a nice LaFerrari in yellow. Always good to see. And we have a roof CTR anniversary in just a beautiful color. I'm not even really sure what you'd call this. It's a mix of blue and green in there. But man, that is such a good looking car. A great little resto mod. Here we go. Silver SP3. Oh, unexpected Sterling Moss. What the heck? We were just waiting for the Ferrari tour to come by, and wow, I had to get my phone up fast for that one. All right, guys, at the Brabus house here at the Pebble Beach Concourse, one of the most interesting cars we'll see today, the Brabus Rocket GTS 1000. So this is based off of an SL63 finished in full green carbon fiber. That is obviously the thing that sticks out the most from this front angle. Tons of aero on it, and obviously tons of performance upgrades as well, being with the 1000 designation. But just check out how the green carbon fiber shifts through the light here. It's absolutely beautiful. But the most interesting part of the car is clearly the back end, where they've converted it into a two-door shooting brake. Now, if you're familiar with the channel, you'll know I'm a bit of a sucker for wagons. I absolutely love them, and on this car it definitely works. I love this little lip spoiler they have at the back. They've even got one at the top too, sort of like the Audi RS6 Avant. But check it out, even down here by the rear diffuser, green carbon fiber, same thing around the exits of the exhaust as well. I love these giant green 5 spokes too, look fantastic on this car. Even on the interior, you have that full green Alcantara with the green carbon fiber accents as well. Just an absolutely beautiful build, but I wouldn't expect anything less from Brabus when it comes to modifying Mercedes. And just next door to Brabus is Bugatti, where we have the new Tourbillon, which we actually saw unveiled here Monterey Car Week last year. It's a beautiful design if you guys have not seen it up close already. I do like how they kept some similarities to the past models like the Veyron and the Chiron, especially with the curvature down the side here. But obviously a big change is the power plant. It is now a V16 as opposed to the W16, where originally they said they were done with the W16 and they ended up bringing it back for the Bouillard, which we did see in another video. But the back of this car is probably my favorites. Again, the lines and the curvatures through the rear lights and just that active rear spoiler, absolutely beautiful. Big rear diffuser as well. I love how it just incorporates that exhaust design too. And the third brake light is actually really cool too, how it just sort of lines across the center of the car just over that engine, which is completely exposed, by the way, no engine, sort of similar to the Lamborghini Revuelto. And I also do love the extreme back end here, how the rear tires are exposed just a little bit behind the rear diffuser, gives it a very aggressive race car look. And if we shift around to the front here as well, you guys can get a look at that too. It's just great from every angle. That's all I can say. They really knocked it out of the park this time. Look at that, we've got a Rimac Nevera driving by here. Interestingly enough, this is actually a Toronto car, so from my hometown. And funny enough, I actually haven't seen it driving around yet in the streets of Toronto, but here we see it in Pebble Beach. There we go, Ontario plates. All right, super tight squeeze here, obviously on the concept line, lots of people, but this is the new Lexus Sport concept that was just unveiled a couple of days ago, and I gotta say, it looks absolutely beautiful. There's some clear design cue elements from the LFA. I love this new headlight design as well. The intakes on the hood kind of remind me of the Lotus Emira, so there's a bit of styling cues from some different cars, but I think if they have any intention of putting this into production as a new supercar, it would be gladly welcomed. You can only hope that is a combustion engine and not electric, but that will be determined in the future. The side mirrors look fantastic as well. It has the active rear wing, similar to the Lexus LFA, but yeah, it has a nice fastback styling to it as well. Man, oh man, that is a really good looking car. I know they've been testing a V8 concept for a while too in road and race trim. Hopefully it looks something similar to this, because it is quite nice. And we can also just get a quick look at the front of that Apex concept car there, which also looks really good. Like I said, very much reminds me of a Le Mans Hypercar, so that is really nice to see. And here we go, guys. One of the big ones I want to show you from the concept line, I would say the main attraction is the new Lamborghini Fenomeno. This is a new 1 of 29 hypercar that is going to have 1,065 horsepower with the classic V12. So obviously, I think this is the first special edition that is based off of the Revuelto, and man, oh man, does it ever look futuristic. If you guys know the Terzo Millennial concept, it's kind of giving me like production version vibes sort of that car. So there's a lot of obviously the carbon fiber accents at the front and as well on the hood. It kind of flows really well nicely together. The whole side obviously down there is carbon fiber as well. Massive intakes on the side. I love the new wheel design too, but the back I think is questionably, or quite possibly, the most interesting part of the car. It's quite long actually. I think it's much bigger than a Revuelto, at least that's the impression that I get. But I love that massive rear exit. It's bigger than the Revuelto. or the Aventador. The rear taillight design is interesting. It's kind of similar to what we've already seen on the Revuelto, which is kind of turned upside down, but I think it actually might look better that way, to be honest. But I love that rear carbon fiber section over the top of the V12. It has an active aero rear wing, and obviously it costs millions and millions of dollars, being a very limited one of 29 Lamborghini. You'd expect nothing less. I'll see if I can get a quick look at the interior as well, but outside design wise, I think it is quite lovely, and I'm going to walk up to the side right now so you guys can kind of see. I think it's a little more aggressive than the current Revuelto interior, which honestly I think the Revuelto interior was a bit of a step back from the Aventador. I think this one is much better looking though, and I do like these sort of highlighter yellow accents. The seats though, take a look at that. It's definitely got that like fighter jet style that we like from previous special editions like the Reventon and such. But man, oh man, really cool to see a new Lamborghini here on the concept lawn, and let's see what else we can find. Here is one of the most interesting modern Ferraris, the 499p Modificata. So if you're not familiar with racing in WEC and Le Mans, the 499p has won at Le Mans in the last 2 years, so this is obviously a very iconic car. But the Modificata is interesting because it is the customer version, where they can sort of take some of the restrictions that are not on the race car and just sort of let loose and sell it to their customers. They can take it to track days. This is something that would be available during the XX racing days with the Ferrari FXX and the FXXK and the 599XX and the likes of that. So this is obviously a customer car that is present here at the Ferrari lawn. And shift around to the back here, Villa d'Este, we did see the actual race car in its like final guise with all of the rubber and dirt on it, which was really interesting to see. And now we're obviously checking out a much cleaner version from a customer, the 49p Modificata. But what a beautiful looking car, I must say. The massive double or triple wing, if you want to call it, at the back with these huge mounts that stick right on to the bodywork of the car. One of my favorite features on the 499p, but that is just lovely, especially in yellow too. And just a quick correction, it's actually the last 3 years. I think I said 2 years, but 3 years in a row, the 499p has won at Le Mans. Obviously incredibly successful, and there's a reason why the V6 power plant in this car was put into the road car behind it, the F80, which we'll go look at right now. So there is the F80, as I mentioned, sharing the same power plant as the 499p Le Mans Hypercar, obviously wanting to flex off that very successful race engine in their modern hypercars, following up on the success of the LaFerrari. So good thing we did actually see this back at Cavallino in January, and then we saw it driving here in Pebble Beach the other day too, where there wasn't as crowded. As you can tell, there's a lot of people, but we could still get another quick look at it. I have said multiple times now, I really like the design of this car. It's incredibly sleek and definitely has that Le Mans kind of vibe to it, but I think this is a worthy successor to the LaFerrari. And I'll shift around to the back too and take a look at the interior for you guys as well. Yep, so there is the back of the F80. Probably, I think maybe my best or favorite part of this car is that rear active aero wing. Still haven't seen it driving with the wing up, but it's really cool in pictures. If you guys have seen the videos of it on track, and I believe it was Italy, it stands really tall, very aggressive. I absolutely love the look of it. So hopefully we will see it driving with the wing up at some point in the near future. But I'm just going to walk up to the interior now. Yeah, so interior wise, obviously, I'd say it's kind of bare bones, but that's exactly what I'd want from a very performance-oriented hypercar like this. You do still have that screen on the passenger side, which is kind of an iconic feature now for these modern Ferraris. But yes, I do like the seats as well with the harnesses. It's a great looking car, guys. That's all I can say. If you haven't seen it in person yet, I believe if you're not too big on it in pictures, wait until you see it in person, because it does change drastically. I absolutely love the looks of this thing. So we have the Ferrari Hypercar section here, starting off with this nice LaFerrari Perda, very similar to the one we saw back at ARM Sotheby's, the black with the slight red stripes. We have a LaFerrari Coupe here in the standard I believe this is Rosso Corsa here, but nice that has the gunmetal wheels, so a little bit different than your standard spec launch LaFerrari. We've got the classic 288 GTO. Always good to see that. I've always loved the lines of that car. My personal favorite Ferrari, the F40. We've got a nice red F50 behind that as well. And there is that blue posi Ferrari Enzo. That is just absolutely lovely. It's a one of one, the only Enzo featured in this color. It's a lovely dark blue. It sort of shifts in the light. If you look at it in darker settings, it almost looks black. But out here on the lawn, you can clearly see it's a very nice shade of blue, and against those brown seats inside with all the carbon fiber, man, oh man, does it ever look good. Just take a look at this from the front. I've always loved the Ferrari Enzo in yellow in particular, but this dark blue posi might actually take the cake for me. This might be the best one I have seen yet. Just a beautiful, beautiful looking car. But we'll continue to make our way through, see what else we can see here on the Ferrari lawn. So here is the 250 GTO, and I believe this was the actual car that had the record for the most expensive vehicle sale of all time as well. Just a lovely, lovely design on this, the silver with the TDF stripe on it, and obviously in immaculate condition. I believe if this did sell nowadays, it would probably fetch over $100 million, especially after seeing that RM auction last night and seeing some of the prices that were being generated. It's the car market is absolutely ridiculously inflated right now, so something like this probably would easily get $100 million, which is just wild to think about. And the fact that we are just standing right next to it is pretty damn remarkable. And then we have a whole classic race car section here as well for my fellow motorsport lovers. Look at this, the 250 LM. It's cool to see this one actually, because as we've seen a lot of the new 296, now you can actually see how it really took its design inspiration from the 250 LM, especially with this rear window, just how it's quite short or narrow and sort of just sits right in the middle between these rear humps at the back of the car. But obviously a very significant race car in Ferrari's history, a Le Mans winner, and in yellow, man, does that ever look good. Beside it though, far more extreme as we go a bit more towards modernity, the 512 BBLM from the Group 5 era, where they have these crazy wide bodies, massive super silhouette cars. This is by far one of the best looking ones from that era, and we'll actually get to take a look inside. The turbo fans on it, a huge thumbs up from me. But have a look at that and just compare it to some of the more modern race cars, where modern cars have so many buttons. It almost looks like a command center for a rocket ship. This is basically just a steering wheel, a seat, a shifter, and your gauges. That's pretty much all you get. But really nice to see that. There's a 412 over there as well, the customer version of the 330p4, which is always good to see. And look at that, we got 333 SP as well. Just cool Ferraris everywhere you look. How about that for an iconic car? 1976 Ferrari 312 T2. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it from the movie Rush with the Lauda and James Hunt battle, but easily one of the nicest looking Formula One cars of all time. That will never ever get old. An iconic driver as well with Niki Lauda. But the 70s, the mid to late 70s designs were just so damn nice on these cars. Look at that, we've got a Mario and Andretti Lotus as well. In fact, it is a 1978, so his championship winning year in the JPS livery black and gold. How iconic is that? They're a 2006 Ferrari, again a Schumacher car, his last year with Ferrari, and his first stint in Formula One before he retired and then came back with Mercedes. But yeah, you can see definitely still kind of similar to the late 90s cars, but obviously just a lot more aero on it, but the shapes are still quite similar. But it definitely gets a bit more futuristic down the line. And there we go, the modern cars. We have the McLaren MCL38 here from 2024. We also have the Mercedes and the Red Bull down there as well. So really nice to see, obviously, the modern cars mixed in with the great 75-year history of Formula One. This is by far one of the coolest displays I have seen at any Pebble Beach concourse that I have ever been to, going through every single decade of the sport with some of its most iconic cars right up until today. I mean, let me know which one you guys like the best. It's hard to pick, there's so many of them, but I'd be very curious to see if you guys are more into the classics or the modern ones. I am definitely picking the Brawn though.
1959 Rolls-Royce Silver Age Coupe Ventura, owned by the one and only Dan Rockington Lee and the
And just leaving the show field, going back to the polo fields for a bit of pack up. I had to show you guys the SLR Sterling Moss as it's parked here outside the Mercedes house. Good thing we caught it driving, as it's quite a rare sight. Only a handful of these ever built, and really the pioneer of this modern open top speedster type car, but man, it's so nice. Right now it does have the passenger side covered up, but you can still clearly see there is a passenger seat in there. I don't know if they all had the red seats or if it's unique to this particular car, but just such a lovely design. The side exit as well was always a nice design choice, but just take a look at that. Such a unique and special car. But without further ado, I'm gonna head back down the road, check out the polo fields. There we go with the gray and carbon fiber two-tone Koenigsegg Regera. I don't know if we've actually been up close with this one before. I've probably just seen it in passing amidst all of the craziness with the hypercars we've been seeing this week. If you look in the back of that trailer as well, looks like we've got a Zinger 21C. There's just cars everywhere you look. This is one of the funnest parts of Car Week, actually, is just seeing everything leave all at once. It's just complete and utter pandemonium. There is the Ferrari F50 there as well. One of, I believe it was 17 in total that were displayed here at Car Week 2025. Man, oh man, that is just crazy when you think about it in perspective, just how many were actually here. That's very special. You've got a North American Racing Team 250 short wheelbase as well here behind the 812 Comp Aperta. That's quite the two-car collection there of Ferraris. A very iconic new car and a very iconic classic race car, as we will look and see what else we can find here at the polo fields. There we go, the three-seater Ferrari. How wild is that thing? Unfortunately, no passengers. It'd be kind of cool to see him loaded 3 up, but there we go. Oh yeah, there we go. Some Ferrari heat. 250 LM. A little 250 Testarossa action. Wow, interesting 599 there. That is, I believe, a gated manual with a different front fascia. Wow. Go 250 GTO. We've got a Maserati MC12s GT2 Stradale. Looks pretty good rolling. Hey, yo, there we go. Oh, we're cooking with the Ferraris now, guys. Well, guys, that is a wrap. Car Week 2025 is officially over. There will be a couple more videos after this one, but this is the end of our daily vlogs. Sunday is a wrap. We're heading back to the airport, back to Toronto for the time being. Thank you guys, as always, for the support. This is the ultimate week of the year. Already looking forward to 2026, but I hope you guys enjoyed all of the Car Week videos, enjoyed the content. Thanks as always for tuning in. We'll see you next time on 6 Cars.